so far in 3 matches.
There was a point in time a few years ago where Dimitrov lost his second serve a bit. Was throwing in quite a few double faults, was on the verge of the dreaded yips. That seems to have fixed itself now.
And you trigger my memory on that, and I remember, I think it was our friend Jim Courier pointed out he was falling backwards as he hit his second serve instead of propelling himself into the court.
When you have the yips, however, if you can't control what you do in some ways. That's what the yips is. I caught them at the end of my career. My left hip, I knew was opening up too soon. Didn't matter what I said to myself when the toss went. Wow. The left hip went too early. The problem when you have, or when you've had that issue, we saw Djokovic this tournament. He had the issue 10, 12 years ago. This tournament, he was double faulting all the time. The specter of it is always in the back of your mind. So if you do have a couple of game or two where you throw in a few doubles, it can be scary. I'm not saying that's going to happen to Dimitrov today. It hasn't happened all year. The beauty of doing a Rublev match is you're on the edge of your seat with every error. When is he going to lose his mind completely and start screaming and yelling at his box and anybody else?
Say 15.
It's Jamie
Delgado on the.
I haven't seen Jamie with that full beard there.
Again,
Well, the point about the yips ties into what you said about Rublev. I guess that's his version of the yips. No matter what Rublev says, and he admits it in every interview, he knows how he loses control in a match, and he still can't help it. He can't control it.
Can't control it. Yeah. I think there's a part of that is you have to play with a certain amount of desire and fire. And when he gets to that place where he's playing well because he has that desire and fire, he can't control when it's not going his way. You don't want him to quench it by not trying as hard.
Andrey Rublev to serve.
Touched a little bit on one-handed backhand for Dimitrov and how he's in the top 10 with a one-hander for a moment this year. It was the first time in history of the game that there were no one-handed backhands in the top 10.
Tsitsipas dropped out.
And most of it is because it's so tough to return serve with the backhand. You start the point so negatively. There's Fernando Vicente on your right, working with Rublev.
And it's interesting, Well, back to the one-hand backhand in a second, but that partnership's been going for quite a while for a guy that's mercurial like Rublev is.
It has.
Stayed with the coach.
No, it's that part is nice, and it also tells you that Vicente can take a verbal berating and accept it and move on.
Somebody called Jill Savar about that.
So the one thing,
the one-hand backhand.
Yeah, sorry, with Dimitrov, he's one of the few one-handers that can take it inside the baseline and still drive it. We saw 2 of those this game already. Most of the time you think of the one-handers as staying way back and just defensively punching the return and then hoping they can use their speed to get back in points.
Where you are in Florida, does any young player hit a one-hander?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's playing the U.S. Open Juniors.
Okay, so you have one.
Yes. Max Schoenhaus.
Okay, one.
Check him out.
Player, one-hander.
But I get a little worried because on the return of serve, if you get it up above his shoulder, it's not easy. You need that other hand to help you bring it down, or you take it so early that it doesn't get up there. Like your man Johnny Mack never let a ball get above his shoulder. He's taking it right off the ground.
If you ever want a visual explanation of what Jimmy Arias just said, YouTube any of the Roland Garros matches between, of course, that is between Rafa and Roger.
Yeah, exactly.
And look at what Roger
happens to Roger.
One-handed, trying to hit a ball up by his ears.
But by the end, he got pretty good at taking it right off the ground and controlling it. It's not easy to do, but he's a little bit on the special side.
Would it be possible to teach a young player with promise to two-hand return and then play one-hand?
Now you're barking right up the tree. I'm trying to get someone to do it.
Really?
Yes.
Because I just thought of them.
Because I do like the one-hander in a rally. It gives you a little more variety and a little easier to hit angles and things. Maybe bring back Pete Sampras. He had a two-hander when he was young. He switched to a one-hander. From what everyone told me in the juniors, his two-hander was amazing. So give him the two-handed return. He could come back now.
He'd still hold serve.
Yeah, still hold serve.
95% of the time.
His return is that good? Yeah. Look out. That was the type of return that should make Rublev get angry. 30 all, big point. Second serve, just a regulation kick to the backhand. He missed it badly, but calmly walked to the other side.
Rublev gets the deuce here. Second Dimitrov service game.
Ugly stuff from Dimitrov early on. He's already made 5 unforced errors. We're in game 3. For someone coming into this match playing as flawlessly as he has, that's a bit concerning.
Dimitrov We told you he's only dropped serve
Dimitrov.
twice in 9 sets. He's only faced 7 break points total in 9 sets. Last number. Tommy Haas is up 2 sets, and Roger's serving at 3-4, 30-40. Okay, so now Tommy Haas is going to have a chance to serve for the match, and Roger hit an inside-out forehand on that 3-4, 30-40 point. It just clipped the sideline. That spun it all.
Wow. 1
shot, and it saved him, and he went on to win Roland Garros.
Yeah, and part of my point was that these guys are now, they know in the back of their head, this draw is a little bit open. There's a path for me, and that's going to make them.
Yeah.
We'll see who handles it.
Love 15.
So just to provide a little contrast to the serving numbers we gave you with Dimitrov, Rublev, again, he had a 5-setter. Hi, Tracy.
Match for service.
Rublev's had his serve broken 8 times in his 3 rounds.
Wow. Back-to-back doubles.
Love 13.
Interesting thing is, one of the things he's improved, Rublev, is his second serve. From the standpoint of it's more aggressive.
Ooh, watch it.
Love 14.
He tried to calm down, but he just had to hit the ball down.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, wow. Dimitrov. You see Rublev's reaction. Dimitrov's ball
Dimitrov leads by 3 games.
just brushed the line.
First
funny is
Rublev's ball did not.
Yeah, no, Rublev's not wanting to see, he doesn't care about the one he missed. He wants to see the look of the one that Dimitrov hit. He thought that missed.
A reminder on all the social platforms you saw right there, including WhatsApp, you can follow the U.S. Open, be part of the conversation at #US Open.
Love 15.
These two are 2 top teners playing each other, and they are very tight. There has not been many great shots hit yet. See how long it takes for this match to get to the level that we know both of them can play at.
Have you seen many matches this first week of the Open
Love 13.
A handful, yeah.
that have played, I mean, of the
Where the
quality?
level's great.
Yeah,
No,
because I haven't. That's why
I
was
haven't
gonna ask
either.
you.
Now that you mention it.
It's been the thought brewing in my head, which is always dangerous, but that because of the Olympics this year, it just everything's disrupted. The year is already a grueling year for the top players. And with the Olympics and the surface changes, I've been wondering if it's affecting the level of play we've seen here. Now these 2 players didn't play the Olympics, so
Can't blame it on them. Yeah, that's
they'll
right.
be exempt from that.
15-13.
And the American men, they're doing well.
Nakashima.
Tiafoe, Nakashima
Tiafoe.
did not play. Taylor Fritz did. Tommy Paul did.
But Tommy Paul struggled Canada and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And had one of the strangest matches I think I've ever seen yesterday. He played a 6'8" qualifier from Canada named Gabriel Diallo. And Tommy was broken 5 or 6 times. But he broke the 6'8" man 9 times.
Wow.
It was one of the... Couldn't understand what was happening.
Well, here we go. Opening for Rublev. And again, rarely faced by Dimitrov so far. A break point. Just the 8th overall that he's faced at the Open.
Man, his first serve is still being incredibly effective. He's won 9 of 10 when he's gotten that first serve in. Gave him the off-speed, nothing first serve in the middle of the box, and Rublev just so far in front of it. It ended up being a sitter.
I feel like I've seen that more this Open, is a changeup. What baseball pitchers would just use on the first pitch, a first pitch changeup.
I like it.
Second.
The right play, because it's mostly just a kick, a nondescript kick. And that one, look at how it tailed away. That was inside out.
You pointed out the return he missed the earlier Rublev on that, but that hasn't happened often.
No,
2
hasn't
of 9
happened since.
Dimitrov.
Uncharacteristically, Rublev at that point played very passively. As you see, he was hoping for an error. Maybe because there have been so many unforced errors, he thought just get 4 or 5 balls in play. Wasn't good enough.
Dimitrov.
What were you saying about feeling the pressure?
Yeah, no. I've personally never understood doing things that you can hurt yourself. And everything that Rublev does, look, he's bleeding. He's bleeding right now.
We call that the Yuzhny.
Yeah.
The famous Mikhail Yuzhny smacking his own forehead with the racket until he looked like a WWE wrestler.
Yeah, that was... Should have tested his backhand because his left hand's bleeding. There, see? He also hitting his foot. If you miss, because he's not hitting it gently, he's swinging at the bottom of his shoe, and you hit an ankle, or you...
This is also interesting because in other sport, you can't play if you're bleeding.
That's true.
can't play. It's safety reasons, obviously. Pushing back to give himself a third chance.
That's one of the shots that Rublev hits about as well as anyone, is his inside-out forehand. That was from a low, difficult position in the court, and he just kept peppering the backhand of Dimitrov. Never let him out of that corner.
The other part of all this is you wonder, does it enter his mind that when that point happens, Rublev, everybody in the stadium's watching Rublev, to see what he's going to do. How will he react?
Yeah, no, I actually find it interesting to see Rublev matches because you do not know what's going to happen. He can look completely calm, and then it's an incredible explosion.
Advantage, Dimitrov. Latch for service. Dimitrov leads by 4 games to 1.
Dimitrov got through that game. I mean, that was a survival game. And again, it's fascinating because the focus becomes all about Rublev's reaction, not about Dimitrov saving the game.
I mean, it's been a very scratchy match to this point. A lot of unforced errors for both players. They're both looking as though they realize, if I'm ever going to make a final of a Grand Slam, this is the draw to do it in. There's no Djokovic, there's no Alcaraz, there's no Sinner, there's no Nadal, there's no Federer, obviously, anymore. So this is the chance. Here's the explosion from one of the many from Rublev already. He's bleeding. Bloodied himself. Not from those shots. This is when he started getting himself in trouble, right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the physiotherapist has been called for Mr. Rublev.
There we go.
Yeah. What's funny is that type of string, the poly string that all the players use, it is unforgiving. It will cut you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yes. Especially if he has the rough kind that is supposed to add a little spin.
Well, what I mentioned, Jimmy, was that, you know, the sport basketball is the most prominent one. That you simply can't play if you have an open wound of any sort. And that safety now, of course, that's a sport where there's physical contact all the time. So that's the emphasis of it. But with potentially an open wound there touching the ball.
Mr. Rublev is receiving a match for timeout.
Well, the physio gives
If you're going to slice, as long as you stick it a little bit.
Jamie Delgado a little time to talk to his charge, Dimitrov.
Yeah. G, keep attacking his second serve all the time. Make him feel that he's under pressure. Yeah. Come on. What is it? Sit it.
So the strategy. Keep hearing them if they kept talking. The strategy is to attack second serve of Rublev, which is the right play. That was always his biggest weakness. As I said, he's gotten better. He's gotten more aggressive with the second serve. When he lost serve, however, he started the game with back-to-back double faults, trying to be more aggressive with the second serve. And the other thing that they were telling Dimitrov, because his slice backhand is sitting up a little, he's not knifing it enough. It's not skidding through the court the way he needs it to. And when it's sitting up, Rublev starts hitting forehands and just controls the rest of the rally. So if you're going to hit slice, knife it, or stick it, as he said.
Medical complete. Time. Wait, please.
Well, we just had a little repair work done. It's kind of like the construction season when they patch a hole in the road in the town and where you live. Rublev just cut himself, pounding himself with his racket in frustration over failing to convert 3 break points. And wasn't allowed to continue to play with that open wound, so just had a medical bandage it.
Well, there's a possibility. Where it is on his left hand, it would possibly affect his two-handed backhand.
I
think it was just low enough on the heel that the grip's probably not in contact with it.
One break of serve for Dimitrov, and then Rublev with that chance to get back. 3 break points in the game, didn't convert, and that was the first emergence in this match of the explosive Rublev. And sometimes self-damaging Rublev. Maybe the medicals a break one, like 3 minutes where he can calm down.
Yeah, for now, but he's going to have these ups and downs the entire match. It's just the way he rolls. When he's on and when he's feeling good, he's so dangerous. He reaches back and crushes every ground stroke as hard as he can.
Again, Rublev.
So a good hold for Rublev after the timeout. He had a
Dimitrov.
not a bad prep coming in here. Again, didn't play the Olympics. Quarters in Washington. Runner-up in Canada to Popperin, beating Sinner along the way. Lost to Sinner at 6-4 in the third in Cincinnati.
And if you keep going back in his activity a little bit later, you'll see that he had a section of the year where he had lost a lot of confidence, was losing a lot of first rounds.
It was 0 for 2 on grass this year.
0 for 2 on grass.
2 matches, 2 losses.
If you're being negative like me, it's not helping me. Andrey. Hey, Andrey, come on.
First service.
Biggest win of the year for Rublev was way back Madrid. Took out Alcaraz in the quarters there.
It's Rublev who has tended to eventually outmaneuver Dimitrov. I've never seen a player that can take a full swing off of a half volley ball from the baseline, right on top of the baseline, full swing, and still take it and swing as hard as he can right back. It's remarkable in some ways. And right now for Dimitrov, once they get in that, he gets stuck in the backhand corner. He's in trouble in these rallies. 10 unforced backhand errors to Rublev's 1. So you don't want to stay in a backhand-to-backhand pattern right now if you're Dimitrov. He's going to have to get some nice first serve free points.
As you were saying, I was going to say, how does he get out of it?
Yeah.
Is that the easiest way?
It's mainly the easiest way. You're going to have to be able to take your backhand down the line, but it's going to be down the line off of probably not an easy ball to go down the line. Also get to the net a little bit quickly. You can also try to run around and hit some forehands from that backhand corner. Problem is against Rublev, it's not easy to run around his ball. He's hitting it so fast.
Exactly.
Deuce.
35 minutes in now with, as you can see there, the roof closed. There is light rain in the area, so the two covered courts, Ash and Armstrong, have play, but outside courts right now have stopped. One match finished on Armstrong. We have the first quarter finalist. First of 16 that will be quarterfinalists in the U.S. Open. It's Paulo Badosa. Nice story. Somebody that found her rhythm again this summer, and it paid off. It's carried right into the Open.
No, incredible for her, because she, even as a #2 in the world, she's not had major success.
Exactly. First time here at the quarters.
Yes. Only, I think, the second time she's ever been to a quarter.
Saved match points Friday to survive her third round match. We'll fall here. So the Dimitrov first set. His second service has not worked. And his first serve percentage of 49 means he's hitting too many seconds.
just been able to rely on first serve.
Look at Chris's best ball, 134.
It's interesting because I don't remember Dimitrov being that powerful of a server.
Saves the serve for the second time to 5-2.
Dimitrov leads by 5 games to 2. Time.
All right, first set of the match that'll determine the first quarterfinalist for the men. Andrey Rublev wants more than that. He's been 10 times to major quarters and has yet to win a match in a major quarterfinal. It has to be a psych block.
Because I'm sure when he gets to the quarters, if he gets to the quarters, the first question will be, do you think this is the time you can get out of the quarters? And it's, even if you don't want to think about it, you can't get away from it. Jess Pegula, that enters her mind, I'm sure, as well. She hasn't had 10. I think it's 6 or 7. Or.
But no, you're right. But you know it yourself. You don't need to be asked, right? I mean, I know you're going to get asked in press, but you know it.
You do, but it doesn't help.
Okay.
I lost, I think, my last 9 finals. So it started at about 5 in a row or so. It started coming up in the press conferences.
We saw that more recently with Ojei Aliassime.
Yeah. And it did enter your mind sometimes a little bit during the match. That's when you're in trouble.
30.
It's been a scratchy set from both players. When you look at the winners and unforced errors, there's a handful of winners. There's a lot of unforced errors. Dimitrov feels as though he's very fortunate to have this lead. His service games have been difficult. He broke serve at love because Ted Robinson would have broken Rublev that game. Got a couple of doubles.
Thank you.
Missed a couple of early shots, and that was it.
And Rublev's, except for one service game, you talk about his serve games have been clean.
Yeah.
deuce.
Well, that's twice in a row now on a second serve where Dimitrov has taken the one-handed backhand early and gotten it back to Rublev, taking away his time, and he's struggled to make that next shot. That'll start weighing on Rublev's mind.
Penalty, Rublev.
That caused that bigger attempted second serve and another double fault. One thing about Rublev that's always interested me a little, that's Alberto Martin next to Fernando Vicente, as Rublev has a very Spanish-centric coaching box. He doesn't mix up the serve. He reaches back and hits it almost the same speed every time. Unbelievable. I don't know how he came up with that shot. I think he was just trying to put the ball in. This is where I was about to say, this is where the one-handers can really open the court with that kind of shot. And then even bigger with this one. That was just trying to get the ball in somehow cross court, and it was a beauty.
Whistled. So Dimitrov gathers himself now to try to close out the first. Winner will play the winner of the match between Francis Tiafoe and Alexei Popyrin.
Be an interesting game for Dimitrov. You always feel a little extra pressure trying to serve out a set. He's had trouble holding his last two service games. Having said that, the best his backhand has looked was the last game, even though he missed the last shot by just a little bit. That is, you can't give that kid the first point of the game serving for a set. It's just, you got to put that in. If you're Rublev. Surprised he didn't start hitting his shoe or his hand or smashing the racket after that one. Rublev was bullying him around the court again, right up on the baseline.
40-15.
You know, the one-hander just looks great. Even a miss looks good.
I know they do. They do look pretty.
It just does.
It's a shame that they're getting obsolete in some ways.
Latch for service.
Dimitrov,
Grigor, yeah.
it did seem to clear the net by a pretty good amount.
That's what Dimitrov is saying. Carlos Bernardes, he just smiles even when he's not listening to you.
Well, you could see the look on Rublev's face that time
Yeah.
too. He's thinking, hey, I got a reprieve.
Game.
Momentary.
First set, Dimitrov.
An emphatic ace, the second of the set to give
By 6
Dimitrov
games to 3.
the first leg. He's still talking about it. During this first week of you.
Haven't yet, but they've been playing. If you've been playing the hard court lead-up tournaments, this is the ball you've been playing with.
And the women are start there. And the women are playing with a ball that the Women's WTA Players Council recommended. So every so often you'll hear people chirping about why is it a different ball? It's what the WTA players said they want. The council said that's what they wanted.
WTA ball's just a little bit better. This is how Rublev lost serve in the first set. And he wants you to know he only double faults because the balls are soft. See, it's not his serve. He's not able to make the adjustment if the ball is soft to hit it higher. Or maybe he can. Let's see if he does it now.
This game and 6 more.
Yeah.
Love.
Ridiculous excuse. It just is what it is.
I don't hear you scream.
Try to keep harder with the backhand or change
I don't hear you, Feb.
Now that is why you admire the coach staying, Vicente, when the player is basically saying, I'm not going to listen to you.
15-40.
That would be funny if the coach said, I told you. This is what I told you to do.
Good time there. Rublev.
30-40.
This is now a pretty important point.
Amen. Important game.
Love 40.
Right.
He's given the first 3 points of the game. Can't let Rublev out of this.
Dude,
I'm thinking of it from his standpoint. That he really spirals if you start this
Exactly.
set. Drop
exactly.
your serve.
No, exactly. That's why for Dimitrov, that was if he wanted to give himself a really nice chance for a 2-set lead. And I don't know why they're still playing. You told me at the beginning whoever wins the first set play wins.
Is there his
minute. Rublev.
In fact, 6 of their 7 head-to-head matches straight sets. And 5 of them best of 3, 2 in majors.
to form. You could see towards the end of that set, Dimitrov's backhand was starting to find its rhythm and its depth. And you've also seen Rublev stepping up early in the match. He was further back than he normally wants to play. He does more damage, Rublev, when he's closer to the baseline. This feels like such an important game for as early in the match as it is. Whoever wins this game takes away some nice momentum.
Rublev.
Good, Andrey. Come. Rublev. You have time, maybe 3 points. Come.
It's funny, Dimitrov thought that was good. It felt good to him. So he was surprised when he saw how far it was long.
First game.
A 140 hold. A hold.
Second set.
For the hold.
And what made it more remarkable is the game he was broken in the first set. He started the game with double fault, double fault. This game, he started with double fault, double fault. That would have been something that could have seeped into his mind. And then Dimitrov did play a beautiful point to get to triple break point. Almost shocked that Rublev kept it together enough to get out of that game. And we'll see now if he takes a little momentum into this game, into this return game. So these inflection points, it seems, in tennis, and this could be one of them. If Dimitrov goes ahead and holds serve easily, comfortably, then it's just going to keep going along, and who knows. But this game could become difficult.
You see the number again. Dimitrov has only been broken 3 times in that 10 sets.
It was beautiful, and what I liked about it was the footwork that you just saw for that down the line. He walked through the forehand. It's the best way for me to describe it. Right leg in front and then walk through, and it allows you to take the ball very early. You don't have to swing hard. You just use your body weight as you're coming forward. Yeah, the best person when you think about that type of footwork, it was Martina Hingis, Belinda Bencic.
Oh.
They're always walking through. Brad Gilbert used to do it on a, when you hit hard cross court forehand, he wouldn't swing at it, but he'd bunt it as he ran through it down the line, and you'd have to hit a backhand pass on the run. Winning ugly. Sudden, these players are a little more relaxed, so you can see it by the level of play and feel that they have. This was a nice drop shot from Dimitrov, and then watch him hold this ball just a little bit. He waited for Rublev to go sprinting to cover the line, and then last second, little flick behind him.
Dimitrov.
For those who may have just jumped in progress here, an hour into the match, I'll repeat that. For the first 3 matches here, 9 sets, Dimitrov had 57% unreturned first serves. It's sick.
Well, because this is not Riley Opelka, John Isner,
That's it,
Ivo
yeah.
Karlovic. This is a regular-sized human. Usually, they can't serve big enough to not get a lot more returns put back in play. Obviously, that was something about his feet when he was just motioning to his box, Dimitrov.
Can't sense anything yet, Jimmy. Do you, about the humidity, if it's affecting play?
I don't sense it yet. I can't tell.
Loop's been closed since the match began. Very high humidity day.
And normally, if it was that humid in there, you would see these guys absolutely drenched.
Right.
Game, Rublev.
Rublev calmly holds
Rublev
it low.
leads by 2-1 now.
Save in
Second set.
game 1 keeps him going.
First set, Dimitrov.
Yeah.
Time.
And then singles 4th round action. A couple of top tenors battling for the 8th time in their career. Rublev leads the head-to-head 4-3, but he's lost the first set here to Grigor Dimitrov. On serve, second set.
Love 15.
Beautiful defense from Rublev. It's not what you normally think of from him, a guy that has what I would call intangibles, coming up with shots like that. He's more of a banger.
Yeah, exactly. You don't hear those words together, Rublev and defense.
Yeah.
So what is it about Dimitrov serving you're doing this? The numbers are crazy. Are you seeing anything?
No. The only thing I'm seeing is that he is throwing in a nice variety of speeds. So he has hit up as big as 134, but it is in different, not that big a difference, but he'll get one down to 123. obviously, the serve must be difficult to read because he's not even hitting his spot that well. That serve that you just saw in 117, it was deep in the box. It was right in the slot, really. It wasn't sliding away wide. So it's strange that he's having those kind of numbers.
Could be, therefore, as much about the returners as the serve.
Often, yes, but you wouldn't think of Rublev as one of those guys that doesn't return well.
But in the first 3 rounds, which is where those numbers come from.
Well, yeah.
Could have been.
I think there's some validity to that. He played a qualifier from France in the first round. Rinky Hijikata in the second round.
All right, well, this is what you think.
15-14.
So you were talking about how important that first game was. That Rublev got out of love 40. Now, if he gets a break,
well, he's
could that
rested some momentum, no question about it. And maybe the whole whoever wins the first set in this match definitely wins might not be the case. Another pivotal point coming right now, just because of how volatile Rublev is. Double break point. He's had already 4 break chances, hasn't converted any of them. This is the kind of point that could set him off in a rage if he doesn't win it. That's what Dimitrov's been moving the ball around, giving different looks, different speeds. Was a series of some of the worst shots I think I've seen in a long time on the Pro Tour. It started with the backhand volley. So the backhand volley was atrocious. Then this lob was even more atrocious. And the overhead.
I was
as a club player.
Couldn't believe he missed it.
Yeah. Club player would have put that one away.
What a swing that is on point. Miss like that on deuce. Still has not dropped serve. Just 1 break in the match.
2 games off. Second set.
Let's go.
Mentally, that wouldn't be easy to shake off. And we'll see if Rublev can.
Let's go.
Reminder, USOpen.org. Your online home for point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, and draws. The official tournament site, USOpen.org.
There you go.
Love 15.
I actually prefer that reaction if I'm Rublev's camp. Go ahead and scream, let out the anger, and then get yourself right back ready to play the next point, rather than injuring yourself. Or for that matter, getting a warning, getting a code for a ball abuse or any racket abuse, all those type of things that he will often do.
So here's that old boomerang feeling. Dimitrov got out of trouble on his serve, and now
All the time. Let's go. Come on.
he stares at love 30.
Great stuff, Jimmy. Come on.
If I was Dimitrov, it's too easy to get to his backhand
15,
right now.
30.
There's too many balls that he could have run around in that rally. And go ahead and run around. His forehand's doing some damage. His backhand really isn't. He moves it around. It looks pretty, but
Rublev's going at it. I mean, we saw how many errors he had in the first set.
Yeah, it's relentlessly into the backhand.
Yeah. So wise, even there, 76-mile-an-hour second serve. But to the backhand,
Yeah,
a pretty soft return.
He's not going to hurt him. That's the thing. Dimitrov's backhand, he maneuvers it. He gives you different looks, some top, some slice, but he's not going to finish points with that.
So that's the second serve.
Yes.
Rublev was in the point.
Yes.
Back to 30 all.
On second serve, if I was Dimitrov, I'd think about running around in the deuce, especially. It's amazing what one step will do. And for whatever reason, watch Dimitrov as he hits this forehand. He hesitated a little bit, and he ended up a foot behind the service line. He needed to get at least to the service line and preferably one step inside, and that wouldn't have been a difficult volley. He didn't use the footwork that he used earlier. He set up, stopped, hit, and had to restart.
That's the full Rublev after surviving.
Rublev needs one. Great game.
That was fantastic. He was angry because his box didn't stand up and give him love. He did. It was a huge game for him to get out of, by the way. He'd had 15-40. He missed a sitter and deuce in that last game to would have helped him perhaps break serve. And Rublev's telling him we have to be together and be pumped up.
Because half an hour ago, I don't hear you.
Yeah,
as he's telling
but now he wants.
Vicente, I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
We're working together now.
Coach, former player himself.
I had sort of a funny in the term in Miami. Danielle Collins in the finals asked me to sit in her box for the final, and there was a very contentious game against Rybakina at 5-all in the first set, where Rybakina had 4 or 5 break points, and every deuce point when Danielle would lose the point, she'd turn at us and yell at us to stand up. I didn't understand the concept. You just lost the point. Why am I standing? Why am I getting up? So I didn't. I never stood up, and Jesse Pegula sent me a text, Jimmy, why won't you stand up?
Time.
She ended up winning that match, obviously, in the final. And she won that game in the end. But
did you talk about it with Collins after?
Not that part, because what happened was the very next game she came over and asked me, what do I do? And I said, this game you just put every ball right in the middle because she's upset she didn't break you. You make her play. And it worked nicely. Luckily for me, it looked like I was smart.
Grigor Dimitrov, live ranking right now, number 9 in the world. Rublev, number 6. So excellent 4th round matchup. Rublev,
Love 15.
plays to keep banging away to see can he finally dent Dimitrov's serve.
He's been knocking on the door a number of games, not just it's 5 break points, but 3 different games where he's had break chances.
Needing more stats, but the one I would repeat that I would love to see is that one, not just the bulk number of break points, number of games.
That's a good point.
That you've had or faced break point.
Actually, it's a very good point, because there's times when it's love 40 on a game and you break right away. It's almost as if it feels as though there have been more Dimitrov service games that have been under duress than Rublev's through the match. Having said that, the one break of serve went Dimitrov's way.
But we've all seen, you occasionally see the match where you say a player is 1 for 10 in break points, and 8 of the 10 were in one game.
Yes. He was able to take it around chest high inside the baseline and still crush it. Haven't seen many backhands where he was able to take the offensive with it. That was interesting, watching Rublev, all his emotions in 1 second. At first he wanted to get angry, then he said calm down, then he said the court, and he was disgusted.
Pretty good wheels from Dimitrov.
That was great wheels from Dimitrov. He may have been able to get to that backhand volley if he thought he had a chance, because Rublev hit it so poorly. This was a nice little half volley angle. But now Dimitrov knows when he sees his man there, there's no way he can get to the next ball, except that Rublev mishit it slightly. Very nice second serve from Dimitrov under pressure.
Dimitrov.
He's been hitting almost all kicks, and Rublev's been running around in the deuce court quite a bit.
Frustration. Just can't get there, Rublev. That was the frustration on the deuce, but second serve return.
He can put pressure in
Yeah.
virtually
Second
every
set.
service game, but you can't break Dimitrov in this tournament for whatever reason.
Long. Great
forehand in the corner again. Dimitrov with the sky-high lob, but didn't look as though he was that interested in the rest of the point.
Fall to long.
Should be using that serve a little more often if he has it. Normally trying to hit 125 mile an hour serves over and over again. That one was only 105, but very wide.
New balls, please.
So it's been slow building, but fairly relentless squeeze Rublev's putting on Dimitrov's serve.
Leads by 4 games to 3. Second set. First set, Dimitrov.
All right, master area. So I'm going to say it's not if, when. Rublev's going to break. I'm one of the next 2 serves.
I'm sort of with you. I always hate to agree with whoever I'm working with, but it feels as though that's the case.
Just agree with Jim. That's all you have.
That is. That I know.
Yeah, I just feel it. It's just gonna happen.
I like the way you put it. Relentless squeeze. It's slowly happening. The problem is that what you see on his face. The squeeze doesn't happen right when he wants it. Sometimes he can go south for a minute. And Dimitrov's been able to take advantage of those little outbursts.
Time.
Grigor Dimitrov is made it through without dropping serve. Rublev has had 5 break points. But there's an inevitable feeling, at least to me.
Well, we'll see. You think the new balls that maybe gives Rublev a little, I mean, Dimitrov a little extra oof if he makes first serves in this game.
a good pickup, Jimmy, because that's, again, a reminder they just finished playing with the balls that Rublev thought were soft style.
Yes. They were soft, so imagine how they were.
I don't hear you.
He's back to not hearing him.
Third love.
Is that a Serbia volley second serve?
It had the look of it, didn't it?
It certainly did.
Again, it's the opposite of what we saw a couple of years ago when Dimitrov would hit that second serve.
Fall.
Looked like he's falling backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, a comfortable game as well. Not so.
Strange how there haven't been that many double faults. Rublev has 5, but 2 different games where he doubled twice. That's Serena Williams.
It is. Wait for it.
No, perhaps he was just a little bit late.
I didn't think so either.
Know.
Now I have
Yes.
you agreed with
yes.
me.
Let's fight.
Wow, 3 doubles in 1 game.
Deuce.
Hard to get out of that.
Well, Rublev has to. No, that's a gift.
That's
It's been given
incredible
3
gift.
points in the game. Has to snatch this game. Rublev.
If he doesn't, he might have trouble holding
Yeah.
serve in the next
Yeah.
game because that mentally is not easy. This was the curse of Ted Robinson, possibly. Things were going along just fine until you made the
Don't open
prediction.
my mouth.
Yeah,
Okay.
look at that. I won't tell Grigor what you did.
All right. Chance our second game in the set for Rublev. Overall, his 6th break point. Well, Dimitrov finally paid a price for playing a game without his first serve.
Or his second in that game.
Well, yes.
That was part of the other problem. He missed 2 routine backhands. That was an absolute meltdown of a game. Both breaks of serve that we've had in the match so far were absolute gifts.
Right. And that one's even worse. See the look on his face. It's 30 love game.
30 love before
You give it away with
Yeah.
double faults.
15 love.
This should be the good Rublev now. Now that he finally broke through, just make this a no drama close.
Needs to do more of. He hasn't. And try to get forehands from the backhand corner. Try to force Rublev not to be able to just consistently put it into the backhand side and you hit backhands. Squeeze the court a little bit. That seemed like it. Yeah, seemed like it. But the announcer jinx is alive and well.
Dimitrov had the 3 break points in the first game of the set. That's it.
Might even run around this second serve, but that's me.
He knew he was going to his backhand. Yes. Dimitrov, and you're exactly right.
If you run around, you have to hit. You're outside the doubles line. You got to be in control.
Come on.
Like Dimitrov might have been running around there. That to me is the play for him. You get a knifey slice. Tough to hit that down the line, so now you can cheat a little and then start trying to hit forehands. Another break chance.
Second service.
This second set going.
Rublev leads by 5-4. Second set. First set, Dimitrov.
Beautiful in slow motion, too. Unrelenting on the backhand was Dimitrov, and manages to stay in the set. Turns this even into more of a battle of the mind.
Yes. Late night
comic actor and now late night television host. Those around the world may not be familiar. Very fun.
Time.
So this Jimmy Arias, this really has a battle of the mind too, isn't it?
Oh no!
How does Rublev react?
He didn't react as poorly as I thought he might.
I know. I mean, he's 2 points.
2 points away with serving.
30 love. Bang! Here we are. 4-5. Dimitrov. Serving. I
feel as though both players are playing more nervously than they have at any other time in the tournament. They both understand the draw is a bit open on this half.
Love 15.
And when they've lost serve most of the time, it is their own undoing with some nervous, strange play. Double faults, a couple of early errors and rallies. Pressure again on Dimitrov, trying to find a way to stay in this set. Think back on these two sets as you get another look at Serena Williams. How many majors?
Oh, look at Serena being Serena. Enjoying that incredibly expensive imported melon.
Yeah. Looked like that might have been part of the honeydews, but who knows? Drink. Rublev, Dimitrov, sorry, served 9 games, and it feels as though at least, I know 4 of them have been with break points, but at least 6 or 7 of them have been not comfortable, even if he didn't get all the way down to break point.
That's why you look at all the numbers and the data, and they tell you something, and then you have to realize each successive round in a major. Logic would tell you the competition's tough.
Yes.
So this match, he's only been broken once, but the serving has been nowhere near what the data would tell you from the first 3. For the time to deliver ace 4. Now point for 5 all.
Well, that's the beauty for Dimitrov, is even though he's struggling a bit to hold serve, he's coming through most of the time in the big moments.
Dimitrov.
5 all. 1 break of serve decided the first set.
5 games all.
Each is
second
break in this set. That you haven't seen much from Dimitrov.
No, because that was sitting there. That's what drove him absolutely crazy. That was about as short and beautiful to hit second serve that he's ever going to see.
He's 1 more on his second in this match. 48%. But that's been Well, it's been a bugaboo for both men, the double fault.
Dirty 15.
Can see that Dimitrov, the way that he's looking over at his player box, is also a little nervous and tight. So I don't really see him searching. He stays on the court most of the time.
40-13.
Mile-an-hour inside in winner.
Well, are we tiebreak bound?
Rublev
think so.
leads by 6 games to 5. Second set, first set, Dimitrov. Time.
So the end of the second set coming here. Dimitrov has the ability to push it to a tiebreak. Could this be the match that breaks the mold in their history? Their head-to-head's been pretty much straight set wins.
I'll be surprised if this one goes that way. Rublev wants to see that second serve. He thought it was out. But they're not obliging him. Fourth ace of this set, but 3 of them have come in the last 4 points. Ended his last service game with a couple of aces. When I watch from that angle, a lot of times that angle you get to see what the player's facing, what the ball looks like. Rublev swings harder than the ball travels. I don't know if he strings his racket very tight, so it looks as though his racket head is really flying, and the ball doesn't always fly.
Yeah. It's the opposite of easy.
Yes.
That's what I think people understand that. I have to come up with a phrase.
6 games all. Second set. Tiebreak.
Closer inside the baseline.
All right, tiebreak ahead.
Closer.
Closer. I mean, I don't know what else.
Yeah. Second serve return, go for it. Be aggressive here. Come on.
Second top match. Come on.
Make it happen here. This is you. Come on, let's go. Energy up.
In their head-to-head, 7 matches, they've played 2 prior tiebreaks. Only Rublev has won them both.
Latch per service.
One was last year, which is a little more relevant. The last match they played was last fall in Shanghai.
That looked as though that was one of the lets that Rublev didn't believe was a let. So we'll see how he handles that, because he had gotten the point. Or would have had the let not been called.
Rublev.
Men have won matches from 2 sets down in their career, but it's not, no one would sign up.
It doesn't happen often.
No one would volunteer, and especially with the humidity. So, hence a little more on Rublev here in this tiebreak.
I would say that Rublev has done it once already in the tournament, so sometimes you can harken back on that when it's been so recent.
Bit Dimitrov in a big way. Cost him the lead in the second set. Was the double fault.
And that one was a little bit more of what you were talking about. He ended up pulling backwards on that. You can see from the torso he bent forward and came back. The second serve might be a bit of an adventure. Second serve than normal at 102.
Might have been his best.
2-1.
Second of the match. Rublev,
3-1. Rublev.
Dimitrov needed. Had to get one back on Rublev's serve.
The first set, most of these type of rallies were being won by Rublev, the longer rallies. Finally, Dimitrov at least is trying to find some forehands in the middle of those rallies. He's not just allowing its relentless attack to his backhand.
I know why people ask you to sit in their player box. Pick these. That was perfect. The backhand is pretty. The forehand wins.
Exactly.
There it is. So Dimitrov gets the 3-all. So the winner again plays the winner of the upcoming match between Tiafoe and Popyrin. Are you surprised by the Tiafoe-Shelton result?
I knew it was going to be very tight. And I knew that the one difference is it was the first time that Shelton is the favorite coming in. So
Amen.
So
That's
there
a great
was
call.
a little
The dynamic is just different.
changed from what had been in the past.
Three straight points for Dimitrov.
4-3. Dimitrov.
The tiebreak may get away from him.
5-3. Dimitrov.
So an absolute must point here for Rublev. Dimitrov has the set now in his control.
6-3. Dimitrov.
It's come in so infrequently that it's almost as if, what is the shot that you're supposed to hit here?
Yeah.
It was a fairly routine volley. Should have been, but maybe not with the score where it was.
My goodness, all the way Rublev played most of this set, and to have it just slip away so fast here. 3 set points. And Dimitrov
Second set, Dimitrov.
storms through. He wins the last 6 points of the tiebreak and takes a 2-set lead.
Leads by 2 sets alone.
A timeout for Rublev. Dimitrov wins one more set. It would be just the second time in his career that he's made multiple quarterfinals of majors in the same year.
15 block.
All these fascinating bar bet conversations you can have. Grigor Dimitrov be the best active ATP player. He's never made a major final.
Well, I'd have to get a list to tell you.
I know, it's just an interesting.
It is.
One of those.
How many semis has he been in majors?
When you're sitting there sharing your melon balls with your friends, have those kind of conversations. he's a teenager again.
Did he hit one shot almost from his belly in that rally?
40-13.
He's put in hard work. This is a 33-year-old.
Take a look at this shot. Down on the ground and a beautiful flick, and again the poor volley work up at the net from Rublev. Maybe that's the next step for him. Start learning how to play up there a little bit better.
What an example, though, of age 33 to be able to move like that. 13 shots, such effort. This is the 56th major that Dimitrov has played in his career.
Deuce.
3 semifinals.
Не бързаме, човек, не бързам.
1 Australia, 1 Wimbledon, 1 US.
So one of each, other than, and he's probably made a quarter or two at Roland Garros even.
This year, first time.
First time.
Roland Garros this year was his first time. But he won the year-end title in 17. He has a Masters 1000 title back when the big three were still playing. He's been a top 10 player. It's just one of those questions like you would have to think of other names, but
yeah, I'd have to sit there and
I would bring this conversation up in the past with people with the game that we'd always talk about was David Ferrer.
I was going to say his name, but he made a final.
Then he thought, exactly. He had the Lifetime Achievement final at Roland Garros.
That was the first, interesting, that was the first name that entered my mind.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there was a guy that got to 4 in the world. Could never get past the big guys to get that. Well, he finally did get the one shot. And of course, it was against Rafa at Roland Garros. And I emphasize active players. You know, you think Zverev's been in finals, Tsitsipas has been in final.
Here we go, G.
Yeah, the new generation of Sinner and Alcaraz. Rude. Says Rublev to his coaches. And this game has been very physical. These two are hitting corner to corner, and it's Rublev with a chance to start set 3 with a break. Don't you worry, the way this match has gone, something will go wrong at this point, most likely for Rublev, because Dimitrov keeps finding a way. Very good level that these two have started set 3 with.
Game, Rublev.
Well, Rublev, man, it's we're trying to
First game.
fill a prescription for a recovery drink. That'd be the first ingredient right there. Get a break right away.
Well, as I said, he did come back already once this tournament from 2 sets to love down. So when you have that in your mind, you've done it so recently, you can still tell yourself, I'm in there with a chance. I could have won both of the first 2 sets. There's no reason why I can't.
Contender.
Yeah, exactly. You can tell yourself that. Whether it's true or not is another thing.
Tell him. In the fridge.
Speaking of prescription drinks, that's what Rublev seems to be talking to his team about, getting the right refill.
Just throw a
little personal thing here about this match too. I'm really happy these two, because they've been good players for so long, being scheduled on Ash today, while Taylor Fritz, who's been the #1 American, is playing Casper Ruud right now on Armstrong.
That is amazing.
There's none of the other 3 majors would do that.
No.
And the American player, I mean, the other 3 majors, the home country player would be playing here. These 2 would be playing on.
Without question.
Yeah, so I give the USTA credit for that. It's the lowest. You can tell like Bristle criticizing scheduling and things like that is the lowest hanging fruit in the sport.
Called out.
It was. Through the confirmation up on the video board.
It's all going Rublev's way all of a sudden. That was an absolute stand with my legs completely still slap shot down the line, and it just caught a tiny piece.
(14-15). Game, Rublev.
Rublev backs up the brakes, and it's the best possible start to the set.
Rublev leads by 2 games to love, 3rd set.
Other part of the scheduling here at the U.S. Open that's been interesting is that we push for equality all the way across the board, which has happened. It was raised by some of the big men a few years back, you know, that equality should apply equally. I guess that sounds foolish to say. We should apply it all the way across the board. That forever here, men always played the second night match, meaning men never knew when they were going to get a start time. And it was the Federer, Nadal, Djokovic contingent that expressed this years back, saying that shouldn't be. So I know it seems sometimes tough, but the U.S. Open agreed. They equaled it out, so men play a fair number of the first night matches, knowing when they're going to start. The player that's impressed, because Sabalenka, this first week, she's been dealt the short straw. She's twice had second on night matches after long men's matches, and to her credit, she's won.
But that's been tough. Probably the problem, the reason why they were always. It's 2 out of 3 sets, so you schedule the women first. That's why they did it.
That's very easy to say that.
Yeah.
But the point was made. Now, if we're talking about equality, then we should go all the way across the board. So why should the men always be not knowing if we're going to play at 9, 10, or 10:30, and then we're the ones that play till 2 in the morning?
Exactly.
And that was just basically share the burden. It's a burden for both sides.
It is.
Not debating that. The point was it's now equal.
Could they start the night session at 6 instead of 7, maybe?
Yeah, those are conversations that have been and will continue to be held, because, as I said, there's no good side to tennis at 2 a.m. 15-13. But then you compare compared to what we've seen at Roland Garros in recent years with the single night match, that's always a men's match. You say, okay, now that's a situation that needs to be addressed.
15.
Djokovic's in danger of just having a walkabout set. The very first game of this set was physical, tough points. When Rublev broke, looks as though Dimitrov is capitulating slightly for set 3. He's lost a bit of rhythm on the serve, lost some speed on the serve.
That
was a really bad miss from Rublev just because Dimitrov was wanting to go away, and now you've given him a little bit of a hope.
Deuce.
You're the Dimitrov team fight G.
I don't feel as much fight. That was an example of a ball where he couldn't. He's going to make it 1 out of 100 trying to hit that one down the line. But he was there in time to at least stay alive for another shot. He chose not to.
It's interesting with the serving of Dimitrov. His average first serve speed in this match, 4 miles an hour more than Rublev.
Well, and his biggest, 8 miles an hour faster, 134s. Rublev complains more about missing close or you hitting the line. He takes offense if you hit the line too many times.
How dare you?
Yeah.
That line not be where I hit the ball.
Exactly.
When it's effective, it's a beauty to watch that backhand, and Dimitrov is through that game.
Leads by 2
Still,
games to
though,
1,
the
third set.
early third set lead to Rublev.
Dimitrov leads by 2 sets to love. Time.
Rublev has taken the first small step towards what he hopes is going to be a push to get this back, get it to a 5th set.
New balls.
Acknowledgement, new tennis balls introduced.
Rublev had, for all intents and purposes, 2 set points in the last game. He had a couple of break points.
Good call.
Set would have been over, most likely, and instead he allowed Dimitrov back in this set. And the way things have gone for Rublev, he might really regret that.
First 3 games sort of fell back to what we saw. The second set got better, but a lot of errors. The first 3 games of this set.
13-15.
Dimitrov's getting tired, but he's playing some points like he's tired. That move to the backhand he just made just was a little less intense than he needed it to be in perfect position. The reason I doubt it is because I just don't remember Dimitrov playing many matches where fitness became a problem for him.
USOpen.org is your online home for all the scoring, highlights, stats, and draws. And download the US Open app to follow everything, match highlights, player news, and the new ad this year, which is terrific. Live 3D views of all single matches. You can get the US Open app at the Apple App Store, Google Play Store.
15 block.
It's just a little lull in the action.
It's just the word I was thinking, that energy lull.
Yeah.
More from Dimitrov.
Yeah.
Rublev's, to his credit, it looks like he stayed engaged. And you can sense it in the stadium here as well. Lull.
But even that drop shot is what I would say when you're tired, you hit a drop shot on that ball. You want the point to end. He wasn't in control of anything when he tried it.
I believe that gentleman was the coach of the Celtics, Joe Mazzulla.
Was hit with a little contempt.
Yeah, 93 on the serve, and I would guess at least this on the return.
At least, yeah.
Eagle line. Dimitrov just doesn't look the same.
No, not in this set. I don't. I'm hoping it's maybe he needs a little rest, and then he'll re-up the energy for set 4. But the way Rublev's playing, he's going to let him hang around. Maybe not. Dimitrov won't let Rublev let him hang around.
Rublev.
Feeling like a relapse. Dimitrov has to hope this is just a one-match relapse into the second serve problems. 10 doubles now.
And very few of them in the first set and a half until he doubled twice to lose serve in the second set.
First serve is not the problem. He's winning 80% when his first serve's in.
He's having right now is if he is tired because he's not moving as well. His service games are lasting a long time, and serving is more tiring than returning. He's double faulting. He's trying loose shots. He's not working that hard, and then he still isn't quite giving up his serve game. He's banged enough first serves in that he stays in, but the games are, as they have been all match for him, contentious, tough service games. That's just a little slower than he was.
Deuce.
That's what I'm talking about.
Doesn't look like much there, but when you multiply by the number of games,
it becomes you're serving for a lot longer than your opponent.
Lat for service.
I like to blend sports. I just think this is not a sport where you want to win time of possession.
That's exactly right. It's what made Medvedev all these years. He'd hold serve quickly, and then your service game takes an hour. Eventually, the weight of that weighs on you. Just to give you the easiest way to point out the difference is Dimitrov has served 115 points, Rublev 77.
That's stark. And Dimitrov's up 2 sets.
Yes.
Rublev.
Here you go. Here's your. Here's a
set point again.
Yep.
Virtual set point.
I'm going to use that. I'm stealing. That's the word is called. Virtual set. It was different than most of the other doubles. That was an airmail double.
And you knew just from the way he looked at his racket after the first serve that he wasn't feeling the serve right now. It's 5 doubles in this set, and he's only serving in his 3rd game of set number 3.
There it is. So the doubles eventually take their toll on Dimitrov, and it is
leads by 4 games to 1.
a double break now for Rublev in the 3rd.
Dimitrov leads by 2 sets to 0.
As fast as possible, please.
down 2 sets and look like you have life, and that's what Rublev's communicating right now.
It almost looks.
Mayer.
Good friends with James Blake at one point.
At one point, yes.
15 love.
All right, here we are in Ash Stadium, where Andrey Rublev is beginning to craft the comeback
30 love.
that he executed in round 2 against Arthur Rinderknecht. Back from 2 sets down. Second time in his career he did so.
40 love.
Rublev has broken twice in this set, and Jimmy Arias, the visuals in this set belie the score. Dimitrov is up 2 sets.
Game Rublev.
Because Dimitrov has looked as though he tired right from the start. They had a very physical game 1.
That's what you were talking about.
Rublev leads by 5 games to 1.
Now you put the ball right back in Dimitrov's
Third
hand.
set.
Yeah, Dimitrov has served 119 points to 81. So the games for Dimitrov when serving have been longer, and it is more tiring hitting serves. Just as I suspected after getting down the double break, Dimitrov's throwing this set away. I would be very surprised if we have a rally over 4 shots in this game, one way or the other. He might hit 4 winners, Dimitrov, but he's not going to want to stay in any physical rally.
The sudden change of this, and there you see the string, the active string, but remember Dimitrov captured the second set by taking the last 6 points of the tiebreak. But it
Love 30.
it appears as if a switch was flipped.
He really needed Dimitrov needed to start the 3rd set well, because Rublev might have gone away. It was a frustrating first 2 sets. As I said, they won't have many long rallies if he happens to hit 4 winners like that. But they'll hit 4 winners. Rublev would have come into that beginning of the 3rd set thinking, I should be up 2 sets to love, or at least a set all at worst. The way those 2 sets were played out. Expect Dimitrov to take a bathroom break after this set and try to get started in set 4 early and see.
Rublev did that after the second set, although in fairness, it was very quick.
It was.
Yeah, he didn't take the long reset timeout.
Third set, Rublev.
The second set that took an hour and 6 minutes.
By
That
6
one was an
games to
express
1.
Set. 35 minutes for Rublev.
Dimitrov leads by
We'll get set
2
for
sets
fourth.
to 1.
Best of 5. Because I never had to play it. You did. I thought of it like it's like a 15-round fight. I feel like this is about round. They started around 10 maybe. Dimitrov needs to get off the chair and throw a few shots.
Exactly. This has a remarkably similar score line to the 2-set deficit in the second round for Rublev here, where he lost 2 tight sets and then won 1, 2, and 2.
Oh, please.
As you said, Rinderknecht, that match just hit a wall.
Super hot day. That was the day where it was really brutal. But it feels as though Dimitrov's hit the same wall. Haven't seen excessive sweating from these guys. I know it's humid in here, normally it gets hot.
Rublev was ready to.
Was that Bulgarian? What was he speaking?
I don't know. But Rublev was ready to serve there. Dimitrov was going to slowed it up. the start.
First game, fourth
Dimitrov
set.
won it, albeit as a returner.
Yeah, but it looked a lot like when the game before when he just let serves go.
This feels to me, watching, like the first night, Monday night. It was in Armstrong Stadium. And they closed the roof during the match with Francis Tiafoe. And he, for almost 2 sets, went away looking like Dimitrov does now.
Wow.
Pulled it together at the end. They beat the young New Yorker, Kovacevic.
15.
It looked for all the world like it was going to a fifth. It was 2 sets to Tiafoe. And very close to going to a fifth. And Francis talked afterwards that the conditions, again, it was in Armstrong. The conditions changed dramatically when the roof was closed. He had a really hard time. He didn't have a hard time in here Friday against Sheldon, did he?
Well, he had some hard times. It wasn't
Well, no,
fun.
I mean, physical.
No.
Quarterfinal.
The most positive sign for Team Dimitrov in the last 45 minutes.
That was also positive. It just gave a fist pump. So if he can keep this set close, when it gets down to those anxious moments, he's been the one who's won those moments to this point. That's the energy change that I was talking about. Another fist pump from Dimitrov. And that's when it gets difficult for Rublev. He's going to have to do his best just to continue recognizing, if I pepper the backhand enough, it'll probably be good enough. Stick to the strategy you were working on and don't worry about what your opponent's doing or feeling. This feels like a dangerous game to me for Rublev because it's been such one-way traffic for the last 40 minutes or so. Just too many balls central there from Rublev, and finally Dimitrov runs around one of them.
Latch for service.
So the Rublev that was kept under control in the third set slips out.
Oh, that was a double whammy for him because he hates when there's close calls that go against him, and it's now love 40 with that miss.
Quarter.
It's funny, the superstition of players. You can see Rublev, he only wanted to get the balls from that one ball kid, and he was getting frustrated that the other one had a few and wasn't throwing it over.
Not want to let Rublev out.
Well, that was a bad miss because he's got to know Rublev's hitting that forehand into his backhand. It was a good
2.5 hours.
But you had to know it's going there, so you shouldn't be late to it. Massive moment here from Rublev coming back from left 40 if he can finish the game.
Latch for service. Advantage, Rublev.
The crowd in Ash. A terrific point, but the end result is the greatest escape for Rublev.
Leads by 2 games to 1. 4 sets. Dimitrov leads by 2 sets to 1.
That's a second escape from love 40 that Rublev has managed to pull off. That one felt awfully important because it was Dimitrov suddenly injecting a little bit of energy, which he hadn't shown in a while. That last point, he almost as though he slipped. He had a chance for the overhead.
The momentum that's been ebbing towards Rublev.
Dimitrov amazes sometimes with some of the shot-making ability. That forehand that he hit on the run, I thought he was in trouble. And instead, it almost hit Rublev. It came with such pace. When I don't know how he got that much pace from there. And pretty good touch on this ball.
-15. 40-15.
The upside for Dimitrov is 2 service games if they catch back.
It helps that he's made 7 of 9 first serves, and they've been big.
Come on, big legs here. Come on.
3 sets, he was under 50%. USOpen.org again allows you to follow point-by-point live scoring, highlights, real-time stats, and draws. The official tournament site is USOpen.org.
Dimitrov so frustrated because
What is perfect? Fucking is 15 miles out.
Set it up perfect. Here we go. Come on, let's go.
he worked the point and got the shot he wants. As he said, it was perfect. And he hit it 15 miles out.
Well, even there now, say the energy looks better for Dimitrov. There he jumped in.
The energy
is aggressive on the second.
There's no question he's amped up the energy in this set. We'll see if he does now that it's 30 love. Will he keep the energy up in this game, or will he save a little for his service game? Energetic. He's still moving his feet. The one thing, if I was tired and I was Dimitrov, that I think I would do is, if you watch the rallies when he's getting pulled in that backhand corner, he hits the backhand and he's pushing hard to get back to the center, and he just has to go back to the backhand. I would push less hard. I wouldn't get all the way to the center. And if he beats me to my forehand, well done.
Okay. Hat tip.
Again, for Rublev, he's thinking, wait, second set, you were dying. Now all of a sudden your feet are moving. Those kind of things play in your mind a little bit. So this is another important moment.
You got through the previous game from love 40.
opportunity. 40-30.
Yeah, that one was tough to swallow because you got the sense Rublev left a little early, and it maybe should have been seen.
Game, Rublev. New balls played.
Rublev, yeah. A little exhale there. You can feel it.
Rublev
pushing his way towards what he hopes will be a fifth set.
Dimitrov leads by 2 sets to 1. Time.
So in Ash, creeping toward the 3-hour mark of this match, where Grigor Dimitrov, thin margin in the first set, just one break of serve. Second set, Rublev looked to be in good shape, led in the tiebreak, but Dimitrov won the last 6 points. Then, complete reversal in the third set. Dimitrov has a lull. Rublev storms through.
Love 15.
Now the 33-year-old Dimitrov's challenge. Can he stop Rublev here and avoid this match going the distance?
It's been Dimitrov that's had a couple chances in this set to break and has not converted, and he used a lot of energy in those couple of games.
That helps Dimitrov. I'm thinking the tennis gods beginning to let it be felt. Fifth set.
It does feel as though we're heading that way.
To me, it does.
But little strange things keep happening. That wasn't a great serve that Rublev tried to chip or return. He always hits the return. It was just things that you don't expect have been happening often in this one.
Nice job there by Dimitrov.
That was an amazing slice.
30.
Oh, Rublev couldn't have been expecting that.
No, that was an inside out knifed slice.
So Rublev's first chance to break in the fourth set. You call this a virtual set point?
Not quite. Not quite like the other one.
Took a big step closer to a fifth set.
Rublev leads by 4 games to 2. Fourth set.
Grigor Dimitrov put a push back on here early in the fourth. 3 chances to break. Rublev got out. Now, Andrey Rublev, first break of this set, has a clear path towards pushing this to the fifth. We saw with Dimitrov in the third, Jimmy, was a little bit, looked like load management.
Yes.
To call it now.
And
use the basketball term. We may have some of that going on.
we
now.
may. I wasn't sure he would just one breakdown load manage, but maybe he is. Yeah, he is.
Fault allowed.
Judging by that.
I'd say too.
But you'll notice how little energy that it took Dimitrov for these shots.
Exactly.
He still won the point, but he's walking to the volley.
Game Rublev.
We are there.
Well, that's why.
Opportunity.
Yeah, that's why we've seen the nerves, I think, from both these players.
15.
This is quite an opportunity. And for Dimitrov, it has been a great year. What a way to top it off to make it all the way to a perhaps final of a major. So had a 2-set lead, but it almost as if the nerves and the pressure of the way he got through those 2 sets, it took something from him physically. Threw away the third. Had some opportunities early in the fourth. Had the love 40 game to break. That would have made a huge difference. You'd be amazed how much energy you can muster when you don't think you have any left if the finish line is somewhere that you can see.
40.
This is big. Dimitrov has to walk to make sure he serves first in the pit.
Game Dimitrov.
Getting minimal energy hold.
Couldn't have asked for a better game for Dimitrov.
16.
Rublev leads by 5 games to 3. 4 sets.
Well, Rublev looks like he will have his second opportunity at this U.S. Open to come back from 2 sets down. Did it in round 2 for the second time in his career.
love. Dirty love. Dirty 15.
Refresh my memory, but was the second set 5-3 Rublev, 30 love? He broke because of a bunch of...
It was 5 doubles, 5-4. Right? When he got broken?
Yes.
15.
He definitely broke in that. I think he had a 30 love lead on the serve when he didn't hold, but he's looking a little better now with a couple of set points.
Lat for service.
Dimitrov was already trying to walk to the chair. He wanted to sit down. Serve wide again if you're Rublev.
There it is. And so this between 2 top 10 players.
By 6 games to 3, 2 sets off.
getting into
15.
Captain Obvious territory here, but this first game is vital.
Massive
For
Dimitrov. Just his goal is to keep the scoreboard fairly close, and then hope that Rublev finds a way to get a little tight. Some good fortune for Dimitrov and a great effort from Rublev.
Exceptional research team helping us. Lindsey Gauff,
30-15.
Greg Sharko. And Sharko reminds us that when Dimitrov had his best run here, 2019, U.S. Open, semifinals, in the quarters, he beat Federer in 5 sets. Down 2-1.
How do you beat the guy you made your whole game look like? Seems impossible.
That was on the heels of the heartbreaking Federer loss in Wimbledon final, Djokovic.
Ooh.
Heartbreaking loss for Federer.
For Federer, yeah. No. Djokovic was probably fairly happy.
Handcuff serve.
See, that's the kind of serve when you were talking earlier, how 57% of his serves weren't being returned. That was 125 miles an hour. Pretty hard, but not anything that these guys can't. And not placed perfectly. Surprised it got an error that it did.
Deuce. Dimitrov.
He's knowing Rublev gives it a little extra when the grunt gets louder. And he had thought he was excited with that forehand. He thought when he hit it, it was going to be great. He gave the loud grunt. The top of the net hasn't been kind to him in this game.
Grigor Dimitrov, essential in a tough game, gets the hold to start the 5th.
First game, final sets.
So a terrific 4th round matchup. Two guys that are in the top 10. Neither has bathed him into a final at the Open. Of course, Rublev is trying to clear his own personal hurdle of getting past a quarter. Dimitrov once to the semis here. And in their half of the draw that has opened up dramatically. Winner will face the winner of the match tonight on this court between Alexei Popyrin and Francis Tiafoe.
Get on this second serve if you can. Come on.
Which both of these players would be ranked higher then and theoretically favored to win. Dimitrov would have some scar tissue if it were Popperin, because he had some match points against him in Montreal. And then Popperin not only got through that match, but won the title.
What to do? Because I played like this and he changed.
Rublev's team. Rublev
Asking that time what to do, but what he has been doing really has kind of worked, and that is just pepper the backhand. He just complained that when he did that time, Dimitrov changed the direction and did it well.
Dimitrov there, forehand return, and now he's lamenting. This has been, it's a battle, there's no argument. It's been a match of more errors than winners.
Yes.
30-15.
And it's
19th ace for Rublev.
And it's interesting because it's the way and the moments and the time that they missed. That was love 15. He got a second serve that was sitting there. That's why he's so frustrated. He ran around it nicely. There's no reason to miss.
14-15.
Come on. Get through this.
Making sure he's hitting forehand.
That's
Dimitrov is doing that on his second serve returns.
well, especially at least in the deuce court, because that's what he did here. If you do it in the deuce court, now you're in the center of the court, which is where you want to be anyway. And you don't, if you don't quite get around it, you can still put it in and you can defend.
His better forehand there. It levels the fifth at 1.
1 game all. Final sets.
You're on this. Controlled aggression, simple stuff. Let's go. Come on, you got this. Come on.
That's, you're hearing the Dimitrov team. Jamie Delgado, the longtime former player and longtime coach. Probably the most prominent voice you're hearing. Well, they did break their history. They're head-to-head. They've played 7 prior matches, all on hard court. 6 of the 7 were straight set wins. Dimitrov hopes one pattern continues. Each of their 7 prior matches, the guy that won the first set won the match. 2 of them.
That's a good point. They were supposed to stop after set 1. Just say that I win.
He's okay.
Legs looked a little heavy when he ran for that lob.
30 lob.
Brilliant stuff as the backhand that time hung in there. But watch Rublev's run here. Just remember, this is a long sprint after already a very long physical point.
And what's becoming to my mind, amazingly standard on these hard courts to slide.
Yeah, that is amazingly standard. So if you're a Dimitrov fan, just what the doctor ordered to this point in this game, a comfortable service game where you don't have to exhaust yourself.
Dimitrov wins both points, holds at love.
Dimitrov leads by 2-1. Final set. Time.
A little Sunday afternoon feeling of anticipation here at Nash Stadium because they're getting a back-to-back matches here, a doubleheader of sort. You get a fifth set between two top 10 men. That's excellent, and is going to be followed by a much anticipated match between defending champion Coco Gauff and Emma Navarro.
Ooh, that is quite a session for these people.
Also means that night session's probably going to be late night again. One reality I think we're all seeing, and those who run tennis have to get used to, is that tennis matches take a lot longer than they used to. And it's the competitiveness, right? Surfaces.
Yeah, the margins are slimmer. And not just in the latter rounds, but throughout the entire tournament.
Yes. I think that should be obvious.
Do you think we should go 2 sets all, match tiebreak, and don't worry about the 5th set?
Too far off the 5th set here. I'm not the biggest proponent of best of 5, but I've heard from many of you former players that like it. I think it's the right thing.
Yeah, I'm not sure now, especially because as a commentator, I'd much rather it be 2 as well.
Everybody understands the better player wants the longer match. Yeah, everyone understands. What tips the scale for me is that you spend a week here calling matches, and virtually every player you talk about. Here's an exception: Dimitrov doesn't have an injury history, but virtually everybody has an injury history.
That's true.
So there's the beautiful first look in this final set.
30-40.
He's only 2 of 9. He's had a couple of games where he had love 40 and didn't secure the break. That backhand down line, it's not love 40, it's just one break chance here. Can he make the most of it?
Grigor Dimitrov, first break of the deciding set.
Dimitrov leads by 3 games to 1, final set.
Reminder, you can stay connected to the U.S. Open. I imagine a lot of people are doing it right now on all the social media platforms. Join the conversation with hashtag US Open. First quarterfinalists in the men's field to be decided here shortly.
15.
This deciding set here. Meanwhile, Armstrong, Taylor Fritz, 2 sets to 1 up on Casper Ruud. Paula Badosa already through. Won early today, first in the women's quarterfinals.
Here from Dimitrov, who went on a bit of a walkabout set 3, half of a set in set 4 when he got broken in the middle of that set. But all of a sudden, he's secured a break. And can he hold out 3 more times is the question. Double faulted ended for Dimitrov, at least so far in set 5. He has 11 in the match. The reason I brought it up is because that second serve was dealt with harshly. Will that be in his mind the next time he has a second serve?
New balls, please.
No sign of an energy lull like you saw in the 3rd set, and you said part of the 4th for Dimitrov.
Dimitrov leads by 4 games to 1, final set.
Dimitroff's a bit old school, isn't he? Look at the racket. Feels as though it's a throwback racket a little bit. It doesn't have the vibration dampening device on the string that most of the players have.
Why would he? What would you guess? What would
feel? He wants the feel.
That's why you don't have it.
But he would get you. He just doesn't know. When I played, I didn't use it because I wanted the feel. But my arm was always hurting too, which the vibration isn't great for your arm. And obviously now that I don't play for a living, I put it in so my arm doesn't hurt, and now I have the feel of what that is. You would get used to it, in other words.
Time.
Grigor Dimitrov now has the first look at the finish line. Break the difference.
He's supposed to run around. He's been yelled at to run around this second serve. Let's see if he listens.
Yes, he does. So
He did.
does Rublev adjust? I mean, it's late.
Love 15.
He sees that that's the play.
I mean, he should. And one of his favorite serves is the serve out wide in the deuce. So I'm surprised he hasn't used it a couple times. It's funny that Dimitrov was angry himself for missing that shot. That wasn't an easy shot, but he did guess right. So he thought he should have been able to handle it.
Template very simple. Rublev has to hold serve, and Dimitrov understands I need to hold mine twice.
I know Dimitrov's frustrated with missing that forehand. I think there's some part of it that's not bad for him to get through these games on Rublev's serve without much energy being spent. Save it up for your last two, what you hope are your last two service games.
My 4 games 2-2. Final set.
Well, Rublev fighting, trying to do this twice in the Open. Get to a win from 2 sets down. And how nice this would be for Grigor Dimitrov. 33, if he can have a nice U.S. Open to cap off a revival year. Something that Dimitrov could give himself a chance to do something he's never done before, play in a major final.
Love 15.
Long way to go. Long way to go for that still, but
part of all years.
Yeah, this is a good opportunity, no question about it. Rublev, as I said before, when he starts grunting louder, you know you're in a little bit of trouble. He's crushing forehands. That's driven me nuts about this match for Dimitrov is it's too easy to find his backhand. And that point again, he got the ball a little bit further out, and then he at least stayed in that corner and hit a forehand. You get the sense Dimitrov needs some free points with his first serve in this game. 15-30. Don't like his chances in a long extended rally.
Let. Second service.
Harmed Dimitrov so much earlier in the match. Comes back.
Wide on this one.
Bad time.
Wide on this one. Let's go. Come on. Take it off. Come on.
First and a wide. 12th overall.
First in a while, his coach calls what is his most popular serve. Wide. He doesn't want him to have a second serve here. That's the biggest reason he made that call. He didn't listen. That's amazing.
Exactly.
38. Wide? I thought you said T.
Yeah. It was.
Or could he be like Rublev? I didn't hear you.
I can't hear you. Yeah.
Testy second serve there for Dimitrov, huh?
With 12 double faults, and you know you just got to hold serve 2 more times, and it's break point. You double the time before in the ad. I can understand why Rublev was thinking, I'm going to get a slow. He was in tight. He's thinking, I'm going to get a sitter or a double. Instead, it was a pretty good second. Did the chip charge because I know how good Rublev's inside out forehand is. So as soon as he hit this, I know you're digging up something at your feet. I don't know why Rublev felt the need to lift that ball that much.
Smacking himself. There was the smile. Now it's a hold point for Dimitrov.
You don't want a second serve here if you're Dimitrov. So pick your favorite serve as a first serve. Probably T.
Dimitrov leads by 5 games to final set.
And he's a game from the quarters.
That's actually kept it together.
Yes.
Considering he's down 5-2. When he just had break point, normally he'd be hitting himself in the head or, well, you know, smashing something somewhere. He's keeping it all together.
When this is all assessed and the players talk, it'll be interesting to hear what Dimitrov could do. Did he go through something like I referenced Tiafoe did the very first night? He hit this, just lost all of his energy. Said the conditions were hard to play in and managed to pull himself together at the end to win. Dimitrov is on the verge of doing that same thing.
And Serena and Alicia Keys. I actually taught Alicia Keys a tennis lesson.
You're kidding.
A month or so ago.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, first I set her up with one of the coaches in IMG Academy, and she was hitting. He was trying to give her the modern stroke. She'd never played, so she was hitting the ball straight up in the air. So I have to come help the coach a little and just say, where the racket face is pointing, that's where the ball goes. And she started to do better after that.
Well, we have an important game coming up here. Otherwise, we continue with the tales of Jimmy Arias.
Thank you.
We'll do that another time.
Another day.
Please, no flash photography in the back of the court, please. Thank you.
Grigor Dimitrov poised to pull off a terrific win. Rublev. There's been 10 major quarters.
15 long.
I think he can really pull something off in the presence of tennis royalty. Serena wasn't bad either.
No, she had a fairly solid career.
Martini's they're referencing. Apparently someone who's decided tennis, not pickleball. Good for her.
Actually, her son was at IMG Academy basketball. That's why she came out to try tennis.
30-15.
One difference in this set, Dimitrov has really rediscovered a first serve. Floundering on that for a while.
40-15.
It's interesting this time in a match. It feels this is an afterthought game because Dimitrov doesn't want to waste energy. He's just, all his thoughts are, can I hold?
Game. Rublev, point, game to 3, final set.
He had that ready. See, he went and changed the service game.
Well, let's hope he's right about the clinch racket.
Yeah.
We'll see.
I hope so too.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's over. Just hang on. There have been 18 break chances for Rublev in this match.
For 3 rounds, Dimitrov didn't drop a set. His serve was almost unbreakable. That's the serve he wants right here.
Still a long way to go, but it's amazing how important first point when you're trying to serve out a match is. The feeling of love 15 is so different than 15 love.
Sets to 2, 6-3, 7-6, 1-6, 3-6, 6-3.
The clinch racket clinched beautifully for him. Holds it